You're listening to COB, Conversations on the Business of Brands, with Sudeep Chawla and Sharan Raghavan.
Hey Sudeep, how are you?
I'm good, Sharan. How are you?
Well, more importantly, who are you?
That's a loaded question.
We've got a few episodes out, but I think it's important for people to know the person behind this immaculate voice they've been hearing all this while. And while we're deconstructing marketing and branding, I think it's time to deconstruct a little bit of you.
Yeah, let's go.
For those who haven't heard of you, as in, I'm sure there are very few people left who haven't heard of you, but for them, can you please introduce yourself?
I don't think many people have heard of me, but this is possibly my chance to introduce myself. Okay, so I'm a marketer by profession, engineer by education, and a poet and a fitness freak by choice.
Wow.
Yeah. So I currently work with Pidilite Industries. Have worked on brands like Fevicol, Dr. Fixit, etc. Here. Before this, I spent about a decade with Cadbury, working across sales and marketing roles. And previous to that, I've done my engineering and an MBA. So I've done the most common and boring career that anybody possibly can think about, engineering after and then followed by MBA. That is something that I've followed, and I've reached wherever I reached.
Well, you said boring career, but you worked on a couple of not a couple of brands, but a couple of companies which very, very iconic brands.
Yes, that's true. I was lucky that way. I didn't engineer it in that manner. It's just that Cadbury happened and then Pidilite happened. So that ways, universe has given me a lot of opportunities, and I've just been lucky to be in the right time at the right place at the right time.
Well, speaking of universe, what's your origin story? Where are you from?
Okay, so I spent most of my childhood in a small town called Bhiwani in Haryana, and that is where my parents are based even today. I grew up there, and it gave me a significant exposure to what we call as real India or Bharat today. But it really led my passion for Hindi language, because my school used to insist that we use Hindi for most conversations and most of our studies, and that is where I picked up my love for poetry. And then the regular route, I did my engineering from Chandigarh, worked in TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, for about a year, joined Cadbury from my MBA campus, which was FMS Delhi, and then moved around the country, handled UP, Delhi as ASM, worked on gems, eclairs, dairy milk in my marketing stints, went back to sales, was handling 5 states in north of India, and then moved around to moved to Pidilite and been in Mumbai since. So that's the history and geography of me.
Wow, busy life with some iconic brands in the mix. And I think we'll discover more of all the brands that you've touched upon in the episodes coming forward as well. Let's get to know the person behind this. I know you're talking about the career, but what about you? What do you do when you have downtime? How do you relax?
So, see, I have discovered different activities and hobbies that really give me relaxation. To start, I start my day every day with some kind of workout, and that is something that is that gives me a lot of downtime, gives me a lot of energy as well for the balance part of the day. I love running, so that is something that really takes me to meditative space, and teaches me a lot of life lessons as well. Then, as and when over weekends, or even during weekends, whenever I get time, I write a little bit of poetry as well, Hindi poetry. So that again relaxes me. And then I have 2 wonderful kids, so spending time with them and my wife, that becomes my daily relaxation routine. That kind of energizes me as well as fulfills me.
I also hear you're an educator. So more than just focusing on the educator bit, where does the passion to be an educator come from?
So, when I was going through my career, one of the positive feedback that I regularly used to get from people was that they found me very good in being able to deconstruct concepts and then explain to people in a manner that it makes them understandable for them.
Wow.
So that's the feedback that I got repeatedly, and it kind of taught me therefore that I can possibly be a decent teacher. Now I chose the subject that is closest to my heart, which is marketing. And then it was by happenstance that I signed up with one of the startups as a mentor. They gave me an opportunity to create a course, and I felt really nice, really fulfilled once I was creating that course. And now almost about 900 or 1000 students, advertising and marketing professionals, have taken the course.
Wow.
And when they write back, when I read through their testimonials, etc., it gives me a different kind of satisfaction. Takes me to those days when we used to pay tributes to our teachers, and now I can imagine the kind of satisfaction it must have been, how satisfying it must have been for them. So
Wow.
that's something that I have experienced in the recent past.
Wow. So you confess to having been this way all through, and your employers cannot necessarily be blamed for this version of Sudeep Chawla.
No, I think they gave me an opportunity, sufficient number of opportunities to at least hone my skill and to practice it. And only with what you call as positive feedback, or positive validation, you get to then start understanding your strengths, and then you can find ways to leverage it in further in your career and your personal life.
Brilliant. And finally, why Cobb and why now?
Why now is since I started doing this course for advertising and marketing professionals, I realized that there is a need in the market to understand the core concepts, basics, as well as applications of marketing. Especially now, because a lot of businesses are springing across the country, and a lot of them don't have access to quality marketers. And there is surfeit of data engineers, which goes by who go by the name of performance marketers or digital marketers, etc. But the core concepts of marketing, honestly, are not as widely known as they should be. So I realized that possibly the podcast could be an excellent way of talking about marketing by picking up relevant topics and making sure that we are able to dispense as many concepts, burst some myths, and talk in a very relatable language. And that is when I met you, and we realized that both of us possibly would want to do it, and hence Cobb came around.
Awesome. But I'm sure we've met before.
Oh yes, of course we have. Of course we have. Both of us have worked at the same time at Cadbury, and we were part of the same great marketing team there.
Glory days.
Yes.
But thank you so much, Sudeep, for giving us a peek inside the brain of the person behind the voice.
Thank you.
And I'm sure listeners will look forward to hearing more and more about what you have to say.
Thank you very much, Sharan. It was a pleasure, and looking forward to chatting more with you.
See you soon.
Thank you for listening to Cobb, Conversations on the Business of Brands with Sudeep Chawla and Sharan Raghavan. Subscribe and learn more at cobbcast.net. That's COBBCAST.net.